Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Come Sit and Chat with Dr. Clay. I am going to say first my apologies for the fact that I've been told that within the lives that there is a delay. Hello, Ian. So please, I'm conscious of that, so I'm going to make sure that I check regularly to see if you are going to post any questions or contribute anything as far as in the chat area. Hi, Sherry Ann, how are you? Today we are focused on creating something good out of something bad. And today I want you guys to be very interactive with us today, okay? So I'm not high CT cover. I don't just want you to hear some of the things that were shared by other people with me, but I want you to share some of the things that have come out good out of the some things bad as well. So I would never argue. I just want you guys to know that coronavirus is a good thing. I'm not saying that. It's caused many deaths and it has impacted us economically across the globe. And generally, it's just basically caused a great deal of stress and anxiety. But as many of my listeners have shared with me, maybe this virus does have a silver lining to it. Hello, Dawn. How are you? We're all finding new ways to connect with ourselves, to connect with our families, our loved ones. In our acceptance of this new reality, we're finding that, you know, we are finding that our community is important, and we're starting to invest into our communities across the globe. I don't know about you, but I have a deeper appreciation for teachers, for doctors, nurses, pharmacists, grocery store workers, garbage men and women, bus drivers, janitors, mail people, because I need my mail, people who are delivering our mail, because these are individuals who are the foundation of our society, and they keep us well, body and mind, right? So I need you guys to realize that we could do things that before seemed impossible, and we've made sacrifices for the greater good. I had a discussion, I think it was this morning or last night with Ian, where I was like, do you know how much money I am saving? Are saving. I have no nails. Okay, ladies, I feel your pain. I'm accustomed to getting my nails done, my feet done. I love my natural hair, but sometimes I want somebody else to do it. I don't want to have to do it. And I am embarrassed to tell you how much money I've saved from not doing those things right now in the sacrifice of ensuring that I'm not passing coronavirus on or contracting it from someone else and bringing it to my family at home. So let's put things in perspective, okay? So maybe after learning how to come together to fight this virus, maybe we can carry this same spirit, into the rink to fight things like racism, to fight sexism, to fight inequality, to fight climate change. Okay? So, well, I don't know. Let's wait and see what happens. So today, I want you guys to share with me some of the positive outcomes from living in this time of corona. Okay? So the things that I'm sharing with you are things that have already been shared by some of my listeners. They sent me either via messenger. I had a couple of people send me via email as well as text through WhatsApp as well as regular text. So please do not hesitate to start sharing some of these things in the chat area, and I will make sure and bring it to everyone's attention. Okay? One individual stated that they started increasing or building community spirit. And one of the things that they've done to build community spirit is they've started a library in their community. Some of us live in small pockets of communities, like gated communities or things like that. And even if you don't, let's see, one of the positive for me is that I've started to exercise. You go, Sherry Ann. I feel you. I started walking the dog. I don't do it every day. Okay, I've only done it once. Sorry. But I plan on doing it more. And Sherry Ann, I completely get it. But I feel like walking up and down my stairs at this moment is probably the best that I can do for me at this time. So I am cheering you on. I am so happy that you are exercising. So, like I said, one of my colleagues did a community library. They started putting out tables in their front yard or their garage, or bookshelves. Some of them created like makeshift bookshelves, and they left books in there. And they would say they put outside free books. You can take it, or you can do an exchange, meaning you could take books and leave books. For individuals to be able to read and utilize, right? So also, I have considered starting a free support group for people who do not have a connection of family and friends during this time. In the support group, it will be done online, either via Zoom or Google Hangout, and we would come together. It's not really group therapy, guys. It is a support group. Group therapy is something completely different. In this support group, you would be able to have individuals who are going through similar situations like yourself during the time of self-isolation and physical distancing, that will help you to learn how to cope by having that connection with others. And many of us, may not have friends and family of our own to make connections. So these are to be something like a pseudo friends and family to create connections for you. Okay. Something else I've noticed that have come out of this is the grocery stores and banks have created times for the elderly to be able to go in and shop, because you guys know what panic buying looks like, right? And so when people are in the stores, someone who is on a cane or a walker or even comes into the grocery store in a wheelchair, it's very difficult for them to maneuver around the grocery store with all these people rushing for things. And sometimes people are not considerate of others and may snatch things off the wall. I am so proud of our banks and grocery stores, those who are doing so. I'm so very proud of them, because they're making time slots for our elderly people in our community to actually go in and do shopping. We even have people in the community who are also shopping for each other. So, and my first experience with this was when we went to the grocery store, to Costco, and the guy said, are you guys, is this one receipt, or is this more than one receipt? And we were confused about that, but we asked, and he said, oh, because people come in and they're actually shopping for elderly parents or family members, and people, maybe neighbors who are sick, and they're doing this, of course, out of the kindness of their heart. It's free of charge. Okay, it's not, nobody's charging them for anything, right? So I also want to say my dog has been so happy that I'm home. So I know you guys who have your furry babies are probably, your dogs and your cats are probably ecstatic that you're home, or whatever pet that you have, and you get to walk with them. Share some of that with your family and friends on Facebook. Do a furry baby photo shoot. Share photos of them. Share photos of you and them walking. I plan on doing that. Share photos of you and them relaxing in the backyard, or just sitting down reading a book, right? So I get a genuine joy, from thinking of how people feel with their pets indoors. Those of you who have your pets indoors. Many of us do not have our pets indoors like in Trinidad, but I am an indoor pet person, and I have no issues with my pet being indoors or even sleeping in my bed. Not a big deal to me whatsoever. She is part of our family. So there. The other things that we have started doing, as I've said to you guys in previous Come Sit and Chats, we're playing card games. Let's see, I'm not cooking, but I'm saving money from not buying fast food, so I'm saving money. Exactly, Sherry Ann. Well, I am cooking, honey. Anybody in Trinidad knows this book. I know it's like viral right now on the internet. So I am using this book and I am cooking. And my family is happy to know that I am cooking now. We are playing board games. We are playing, and I brought examples of them because I think people think that I'm just telling them stuff and I'm not doing it myself. I am. Dominoes. We have Monopoly. We have the Brain Box up here. So I brought a couple of these out for you guys to see that. Bring them out, dust them off, and do them with your kids. You're still not cooking. My sister says I'm still not cooking. I am cooking. I will not lie about that. I am cooking. Also, read a good book. My spouse has gone through the entire series of this Bernard Cornwell's series. The entire series. It's at least 10 books. I'm looking over there at the bookshelf. It's at least 10 books in that series. And he's now begun another one. Okay? So, obviously, and look, yeah, I know. He gets to read for pleasure. Some of us don't get to read for pleasure. I'm reading mostly academics and, scientific journals and things like that. He actually gets to read for pleasure at times, as well as reading The Economist. So, I do cook. Don't listen to her. As Sherry had, I do cook, so don't worry. So, also, people in the neighborhood have started doing like musicals. People, not in my neighborhood, I haven't seen anybody doing it in my neighborhood yet, but I've watched on television in Italy. People are going out into their balconies and they are literally having concerts. Yeah. Hi, hippie, how are you? They're having concerts. And so I am saying, if you are talented, you know what? Go outside and start singing. We see famous musicians coming on and singing. So my thing is like, I feeling to knock out COVID. Knock out COVID. Sing calypso, sing gospel, sing whatever it is that's on your mind to do. But you might actually cheer somebody up by doing so. You may have a talent that you didn't know you had, You might want to become a storyteller. You can read stories online. You can create videos where you are creating like your own storytelling or storytime corner. There are websites, Storyline Online, and actually I am going to post a couple of websites. I'm going to post a couple of websites of things that you can learn how to do. So instead of reading your child a bedtime story only, you can have your child next to you and you can be reading a bedtime story to your child and recording it online and reading it to other individuals as well. Because you know what, other parents, like I said, I appreciate the teachers because they do this for your kids every single day. And sometimes you are only doing it for a short period of time. So you may find that new teacher in you, that you may decide you want to change careers and become one. But this is also something that you can do during this time. Read for others, do, like I said, your story time online, your own version of it. Reading cultural books or, reading books that were read to you when you were a little kid. Because some of those books, I have books that are out of print that were read to me when I was a little kid. So stories that, like, oh God, what are some of the, Anansi the spider, and my great-grandfather used to tell great stories. Padmore, my great-grandfather Padmore in Orange Valley used to tell wonderful stories to us as well. Those aren't written, but I still remember them and I can share them with others. Many of you have such stories and you can do the same. Those of you who love to travel, and I know you're not able to do so right now, you can do virtual travel. You can travel to places. There's a website, the SmithsonianMag.com. I'll be sharing that with you, where you're able to basically travel virtually to some of the places that you're planning to visit once this is done. Once we no longer have to be in our homes and self-isolating and physical distancing, and where we're not afraid of passing on this disease of coronavirus. So that's another thing that you guys are able to do during this time. Explore new worlds, most definitely. Explore new worlds. Another good thing that I found that someone brought to my attention, my spouse actually brought this to my attention, is pollution is down. I don't know about you, but that's a great thing. That they are literally saying, and I actually went online and looked up some of the stats for this, okay? The Venice canals are clearer than they've ever been in decades. Just from the 2 months of reduction of pollution in China, probably 77,000 people's lives have been saved. Over 100,000 premature births that come from the pollution has been reduced. In New York, researchers have found 50% drop in carbon monoxide levels. I don't know about you, but once we've saved ourselves from this virus, I would like us to still keep the mindset of wanting to save our planet. So if some of the things that we're practicing at this moment, not driving our cars, everybody all at once, using public transportation, carpooling, I would love for us to continue doing some of those things that will help us to also save our planet. So, how many of you are using technology? You're using it to create more connections. Many of you are doing that. Well, there are Zoom art classes. There are Skype book clubs. There are, all kinds of jams that people have online. Look at this. A Zoom art class. Yup, see? KC, where is it? Over here. KC PhD. That's me. I painted this. Thank you very much. And I think it's beautiful. So I painted that. So you can paint things. You can, take free dance classes, free yoga classes. You can join virtual dinner parties. Can you imagine? Oh, Sherry Ann, what I appreciate fully now is that the social media that was actually been dissuaded is now, I can read, I promise, is now what is being used to bring us closer and maintain contact. I was able to go to church via Zoom. Well done. So see, I know everyone is like, oh, we can't congregate. No, not in person, but you can virtually. So utilize it. Utilize the internet for those things. For those things, yes. So yes, I did paint it. My art. So, many of us may have to teach our mothers, our parents, and our grandparents how to use FaceTime. I have been trying to teach my father how to text. It's not working. The man has a smartphone and he does not use it to text. But it's okay. The virus may be forcing us to use the internet. And it's okay because we are able to connect with each other a little bit more. We are able to share information and resources, and we can come up with different solutions for different problems that are happening. Okay? You guys can have your hobbies that you've been putting aside. Learn a language. I'm making sure I'm going to put up a site for that. I collected a couple of online things, online sites. Just as examples, you can go search for more if you wish. That is going to help you learn a language. Learn how to plant an herb garden. I would love my daughter and I to do a cactus garden or a rock garden. And I'm hoping that in the next couple of weeks, that would be a project that we could do together in the backyard. Because, we need to find things that we remember creating special moments with your family, with yourself, okay? Perfect something you already do well. So like I said, I'm perfecting my cooking skills. I already do it well, so I'm perfecting it even better. I'm quite sure my sister's going to make a comment of that. So just wait for it. So one of my coworkers also started crocheting her own table mats, and she was crocheting pads that she could buy, like little pads, so she can reuse it, wash it, use it again to remove her makeup. People have started sewing their own masks, right? So this life-altering reality of this global pandemic has given you guys some Free time. Lots of free time. No, eh? Okay. Lots of free time and mental energy that's best dedicated to something, anything, please, other than worrying. We need to find other things that you're able to do other than worrying. Remember from last week's session, I said to you, we know that you're afraid. We know that you're grieving loss, but we may not be able to push it away completely, but we can definitely integrate things that can help you deal with, manage it, cope with it, to, help you be a little bit more productive, to be more active, so that you're constantly learning something hi Edwards, how are you? During this time of crisis, right? So I'm telling you, if you find yourself curious about something, try something new. Go right ahead and just do something different. You know, um, some of the hobbies, like I said, people can start with is reading. Okay, reading a book or writing a book. You can write your own book if you choose to get it published. So this is a book that I wrote, and it's been published and illustrated by one of my sisters, Shamika Marshall. Well done, Color Me Different, a child's tribute to Michael Jackson. Write a book. Do some artwork. Create things. My daughter did this. Create something out of a pine cone, by the way. And she is also an artist. So these are some things that she does in her spare time. So most definitely take some of those free classes online. There are baking classes that because I don't bake. That's something I really do not have a talent in doing. So I started looking at Bon Appetit's collection of baking, and they show you step by step how to do each of these different things. There is also online courses on how to knit, how to sew. YouTube shows you how to do so many different things. You are able to take on, you may find something new, that you want to do for the rest of your life as a new career. You may decide, in this time, I'm going to get another degree. I don't need another one. But if I chose to continue learning or continue adding to my degrees, I could do that. I have the time to do so during this time. So learning something new, nourishing your mind is just as important as nourishing your body and your soul. All right. So it's not difficult to do because you're doing it at your own pace, and nobody needs to see you. So you don't need to be embarrassed about if you're messing up, or if you create something that's a little lopsided or maybe a little dry, like my macaroni pie was a couple weeks ago. But I digress. I won't say anything else about it. But I was able to, make it into something different, into something new. So I want you guys to share with each other, what is keeping you happy? I thought I would get some more people sharing. Sherry Ann so far has been the only person sharing what is making her happy during this time. But I'd like to know other things. What are other things that are making you happy? Learning that you have untapped potential. Thank you, CT Cover. Most definitely. You have so many talents, diverse ways that you learn, diverse things that you know how to do. The truth coming. Be quiet. I am so upset this has this delay because I'm getting the information a little bit later. So I apologize, but I am going to respond to everything. So don't worry. I want you to share with people the different things that you do to make yourself happy. What are some of the things that your family and friends do to make themselves happy? So that could be something. Thank you, Dawn. Yes, most definitely. Gardening is extremely relaxing. And for people who love to be in dirt all day, it's something you can do forever and ever all day and relax with a nice hat on to, keep you out of the sun, and have your lemonade, and you are just content, at least for a couple hours. And it's something you could do with your family or by yourself if that is what you choose to do. right? I started gardening project. Good. Some of us have started renovating our house. Planting your own food. Very good. Being sustainable just in case something like this happens again, that you are a little bit more prepared for it. So be flexible in the things that you are learning. Don't, after all of this is over, you're like, I should have done this. I could have done that. Tap into the things that you should have done. Remember that list? Remember that box I told you about? Your present box and your future box. In your present box, put in the things that you want to do, the positive things. Learning to appreciate people more, most definitely, especially the wonderful things people do. Thank them. People, my spouse does not have to renovate our closet. That was something that he saw there was a need. He filled the need. And he is now totally, creating a custom closet that is going to make me happy because all of my clothes can fit in it. And it's going to make him happy because it's going to make things, how he puts it, neat and tidy. That's how he puts it. Everything will be neat and tidy. And I appreciate when he goes into those things and decides, I'm going to be creative today. I always get a little concerned when he says, babe, I've been thinking. I'm like, oh God, what is he going to be breaking today and renovate? But those are things that makes him happy. As I said, my daughter loves to draw. She has been connecting with her friends through online video games. I am going to try and start learning how to play one of those video games because I'd like to see how it just all works. Creating some new blends of soap. Today I did a watermelon, banana, and aloe soap. Very interesting, Edwards. Wow. I think I'm going to want to try that when I come home, and I am saying I am coming home this summer. And when I come home this summer, I really would like to try that soap. That's really good because you know what? I know we go into Target and some of those like there's another store called Lush where they create all of these different combinations of facial scrubs and soap and shampoos and lotions that people are able to use. And believe me, they charge a great deal for one little bar or one little container. Remember, this is your untapped potential, as CT cover mentioned a few minutes ago. These are things that were already in you to do. And if it brings you joy and you're able to make a career out of it, it's a win-win situation. Okay? Says we'll check that out. Yes. Okay, that's going to be good. All right. Thank you. What do you have to gain from taking this approach? Well, so we'll close with that of what you have to gain because we're coming to the end of our session, but what you're going to have an opportunity for you to see the other sides of you, to see that there are things within you that you could like reinvent yourself, that there's not only one facet of who you are. Like a diamond, there are many facets of who you are, and you have many talents. And so you might be able to find that some of those talents are things that I can do as a career for the rest of my life. And I can change, this career to bring me more joy. It's also another way for you to not worry, to help you manage and cope with the situation that you're dealing with at this moment in time. It also helps you create new positive relationships with your family and your friends. It taps a lot into you in so many different emotional levels. I can't even tell you. I need you to know that even though with some of these things, you may also find out that you still are having trouble coping with certain things. So if you find that you're still having trouble coping and dealing, even with some of the exercises of trying to find something good out of this bad situation, please recognize that you're able to tap into, hi Denise, that you're able to tap into Trinidad and Tobago Association of Psychologists in Trinidad. There are other organizations that I will make sure I cut and paste and put into the session. Actually, I will do that right now with some of the websites that I told you I already found. And I am putting it in here right now. This is just some of them. I'm going to put some more up for you just to give you some ideas so you should start looking. Denise, my cousin Denise has a store, Creative People, that I know right now isn't open, but look at it online. Look at CT Cover, which is another organization that will be able to help you tap into your creative side and will be also be able to help you represent it appropriately and share it with the rest of the world, because this is going to be over. This is not our new normal forever. But from this new reality, we're going to learn a great deal of things about ourselves and our families. We're going to learn what we can handle and what we cannot. Remember, I said that if you feel the need to join our support group, please messenger me privately, because that will be a private support group that we will be doing. Hello, Lataya, how are you? And in that support group, it's a support group. It's not group therapy. It's a support group. It's just a place for you to connect and be with other individuals who are going through similar situations like yourself during this time. It's a scary thing to be alone, and you're not alone. You don't have to be. So I want you to know that every Tuesday and every Friday, we will be here for Come Sit and Chat with Dr. Clay. I would love to see you. We'll be here at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to talk about many different things that people are dealing with during this time. So please do not hesitate. Come on in, join with us. If you would like me to discuss, hi Brandy, if you would like me to discuss anything specific, great. How are you? I am well. Thank you. If you want me to share or discuss something specific, please share that with me privately. And I don't have a problem, because next week, Tuesday, we do not yet have a topic, nor do we have a topic for next week, Friday yet. Don't worry, we will. And I will be posting that by tomorrow for the latest. But please share some other topics that you'd like us to get into, and I would be happy to actually discuss it on Come Sit and Chat with Dr. Clay. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you participating, those of you who did, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week, Tuesday and Friday at 1 p.m. That is Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Oh, excuse me, sorry, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or Trinidad time. So please, thank you again for sharing this time with me, and come again to Come Sit and Chat with Dr. Clay. I so look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.